There has been a lot of chatter about Russia leaving Africa and how Africa is going to suffer if Russia leaves, particularly the western part of Africa. But I'm here to give it a different perspective. I'm here to say that Russia is not in Africa because they love the African continent or out of the goodness and kindness of their heart. They're here because when Secretary of State Antony Blinken was visiting West Africa, he said that Russia goes where there is. Every time I hear that Russia is going to leave Africa or Africa is going to be affected because the fall of Syria and Bashar al-Assad has affected Russian operations, then I'm like, find an alternative solution to stay in Africa because they're not doing charity work on the continent. Hello there, how are you doing? My name is Ondiro Oganga. I'm a business journalist by profession and a digital content creator. I love coming on here, having conversations with you guys about Black people, Africans, our empowerment, and how we can rise up and take our rightful place at the global stage. You can connect with me on social media at Ondiro Oganga across all social media platforms. And you can also subscribe to the channel. Scroll down below. You see that red button? Click it, subscribe. Welcome to the community. And if you subscribe, thank you so much. I will attach all our links in the description box, my social media links, and also a PayPal link where you can donate something small to the channel to go into producing the content and also helping in post-production and taking care of our editors. Today, I want to talk about Russia and these headlines that have been coming out, painting Africa as this place that is going to lose big time if Russia exits the continent. Now, let's put this into perspective. How did Russia come into the African continent? We've seen a couple of coups, not only in Western Africa, but also parts of Central Africa. And even if the coups were not successful, we've seen attempted coups. And that goes a long way in destabilizing governments because once it's an attempted coup, already the government is on heightened alert because nobody is to say that there won't be another attempt and nobody is to say that that attempt is not going to be successful. Also, if you look at the Western Sahel, there's this security gap because there's a lot of Islamist insurgencies, there's a lot of jihadists going on. And this is a region, in fact, previously they've accused ECOWAS of abandoning them and just leaving them to fight these jihadists on their own. So Russia has been an alternative. Of course, previously there were French forces, there were British forces on the ground, there were American troops. But when the military governments took over in the Western Sahel, particularly, they kicked all these foreign forces out, and that created room and a vacuum that Russia was very happy to fill. Now, they filled this vacuum through Vagna Forces, which is now known as the African Corps. And these are just mercenaries. These are deals that are brokered, and the mercenaries come and they fight alongside the military or whichever security personnel have been tasked to fight the insurgencies and restore calm and ensure the security in the country. And also, Russia has been selling weapons to these countries. Now, take note, they're selling weapons. Weapons are not cheap, so they're making a lot of money. And also, these Wagner fighters are paid plenty of money. They've been paid in these countries, particularly the Western Sahel, to fight hand in hand with their local fighters as they try to restore calm, peace, security, stability in their country. Now, stay with me because this is where it gets very, very, very interesting. You look at a country like Mali, they have gold. You look at Niger, they have uranium. Burkina Faso, they have gold. Central African Republic, there's gold, there's diamonds. Are you following what I'm saying? So why wouldn't Russia have every incentive to want to be in these countries? Why? Because they are really good business deals to be brokered here. These are resources that have so much value on the global market, particularly when they're coming from a country, Russia, that has the bargaining power to get themselves very good prices in the international market. I remember when US Secretary of State Antony Blinken was visiting the African continent, particularly West Africa, he spoke about this and he was hoping that Africa will look at the US as an alternative security partner, not just business and diplomatic partner, but also security. Because if you look at Russia's strategy, they go where there's instability and they use security as a mask to act as if they're helping you. But in essence, they're only interested in your resources. be that as it may, it's a statement coming from the US. The US is also, trying to get dominance on the African continent. And so we can assume that this is just competitive banter and trash talk in the ring because everybody's trying to win influence. But they have a point that Russia benefits from being on the African continent. They're paid to be here, they're selling weapons, and they have access to critical minerals that fetch them really good prices in the international market. Now, with the fall of Bashar al-Assad, the air routes that they were using and the sea routes that they were using have come under question because now there's no government in Syria. Security stability is not guaranteed. If you remember, Russia invaded Ukraine, and so there's sanctions all over. So they cannot just fly through any air because the international sanctions. They just can't use any waters because there's international sanction. And then that complicates how goods and people, when I say goods, you know what I mean, are going to move from Russia to Africa. And so once that bridge is broken, Russia needs to find an alternative route. They can use Libya, but Libya is so far. They need a place in between to break to be able to continue with the journey. They've used Turkey before, but Turkey, just like Russia, has its own interest on the African continent. So they're not going to continue helping you so that you advance your interest while they're your competitor. Are they going to help you once in a while? Absolutely. But they're not going to be your alternative because you're competing for the same interest on the African continent. So where does this leave Russia? There's a lot of speculation, there's a lot of talk in media that Africa is going to suffer. Of course, there's going to be that break because Russia has to go back to the drawing board and figure out where they go from here. They have to figure out how they're going to continue operations on the African continent because it's beneficial to them. People just don't say Africa is the future because they like saying it. They say Africa is the future because they know the kind of potential that the continent holds. So do I think Russia is going to leave the African continent? No. Are they going to take a break? Absolutely. They're going to take a break. They're going to go back to the drawing board. Maybe they could take a pause and just reevaluate what would be the right routes to use, what would be the frequency, who would be the partners, new partners that they're going to bring on board, what kind of deals are they going to broker with their partners, and how is that going to change their relations on the African continent. But are they likely to just completely cut ties, pull back? No, because they have so much to lose if they pull back in comparison to these African countries. These African countries have been fighting insurgencies long before Russia became their friends. These African countries have had plans with the US. Turkey is there, China is there, they want influence. Iraq wants influence on the African continent. So Africa is hotcake right now. So if Russia pulls back, somebody is going to fill the vacuum and it will be so hard to regain their influence. So what happens now? They're going to pull back, they're going to re-strategize, and we're likely to see them coming back on the continent stronger with better strategies. But are they going to pull out of West and Central Africa? Absolutely not. They worked so hard to build that influence, and they're not going to let it go like that. And I think also part of it is just to anger the US and show them that this is now our territory. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think. If you've been following the news, what you think about the exit of Francophone in West Africa and what you think about the entry of Russia as the alternative Western force in the region. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe if you haven't. Like this video, and I'll see you again next time.